What if I told you that a 75-cent box sitting in your kitchen right now can double your car's fuel efficiency in less than 10 minutes? What if I told you that oil companies have known about this since the 1980s? And they spent hundreds of millions of dollars making sure you never found out? They buried it. They silenced the engineers who discovered it. And every single time you pull up to a gas pump and hand over $50, $60, $80, they win. But not today. Today everything changes. What you're about to learn has been suppressed for over 40 years. It works on any car, any engine, any fuel type. And the one ingredient that makes it all possible costs less than a cup of coffee. Pay close attention because the last tip I share will completely shock you. Think about the last time you filled your tank. You pulled up, you swiped your card, and you watched that number climb $30, $50, $70, and you drove away knowing that in 3 or 4 days, you would be right back there doing it all over again. That is not an accident. That is a system designed to keep your wallet empty and their bank accounts full. The average American family spends over $2,400 every single year just on gasoline. $2,400. That is a family vacation. That is new furniture. That is emergency savings. Gone. Pumped straight into a tank that burns through it faster than it should. Because here is what they never tell you at the dealership. Your engine right now is not burning fuel efficiently. It never was. Modern car engines only convert about 20 to 30% of the fuel energy into actual movement. The rest, the other 70 to 80%, is lost as heat, friction, and incomplete combustion. Your car is throwing money out of the exhaust pipe every single mile. And mechanics know this. Engine specialists know this. Oil company executives absolutely know this. But a tune-up at a shop costs between $200 and $500. A fuel system cleaning runs you $150 to $300. Fuel additives from big brands cost $40 to $80 a bottle and need to be replaced every single month. That adds up to over $900 a year, on top of what you are already spending at the pump. They have built an entire industry around a problem they could help you solve for almost nothing. That makes me angry. And once you understand what they have been hiding, it will make you angry too. Here is the part they really do not want you to know. Back in the early 1980s, a group of mechanical engineers working with a small independent research firm in Ohio discovered something remarkable about carbon buildup inside combustion engines. Carbon deposits are the silent killer of fuel efficiency. Every time your engine burns fuel, tiny carbon particles stick to the inside of your cylinders, your valves, and your fuel injectors. Over time, these deposits choke the combustion chamber. They disrupt the air and fuel mixture. They force your engine to burn more fuel to produce the same power. It is like trying to breathe through a cloth over your nose. Your engine is suffocating, and it is costing you money with every mile. These engineers discovered that a specific alkaline compound, when introduced into the intake system, created a controlled microcleaning reaction inside the engine. The carbon deposits loosened and burned away completely. Combustion became cleaner, more complete, and dramatically more efficient. Their test vehicles showed fuel efficiency improvements of between 15 and 40%. They published their findings internally. And within 18 months, 3 major oil companies had quietly purchased the rights to that research. Not to use it, to bury it. Because think about it. If your engine runs efficiently, you buy less gas. If you buy less gas, they make less money. They called it proprietary combustion research and locked it away. The engineers were paid off with non-disclosure agreements. The data disappeared, and the patents were never developed. This happened in 1983. For over 40 years, this information sat in a filing cabinet somewhere, while you paid full price at the pump every single week. But the science never disappeared. And a small community of mechanics, old-school engineers, and DIY car enthusiasts have been quietly using this trick for decades. Now it is your turn. The ingredient they buried, the compound those engineers discovered, is sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. The same thing sitting in your refrigerator right now. You can buy a box at any grocery store for 75 cents, maybe $1.25 if you buy the big one. Meanwhile, professional engine decarbonization services charge between $300 and $600 at specialty shops. Some dealerships charge even more and call it a premium fuel system service. They are essentially doing a version of what you're about to learn how to do yourself for less than $2. Here's the simple science behind why this works. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, which is an alkaline compound with a pH of around 8.3. When it is introduced into a hot combustion environment, it undergoes a thermal decomposition reaction. It breaks down into sodium carbonate, water vapor, and carbon dioxide. That water vapor, superheated inside the engine, creates a steam cleaning effect on the cylinder walls and valve surfaces. The carbon dioxide helps neutralize acid deposits left by combustion. And the sodium carbonate acts as a mild abrasive that scrubs the carbon buildup loose without damaging any metal surfaces. Your engine then burns those loosened deposits during normal combustion, and they exit through the exhaust as harmless particulate matter. The result is a cleaner combustion chamber, a more complete fuel burn, and dramatically improved efficiency. Professional carbon cleaning machines use a version of this exact same chemistry, just in a more controlled and expensive package. The machine costs shops $20,000. The consumables they charge you for are a diluted alkaline solution. You can replicate the core benefit at home with a box of baking soda and a water bottle. The price difference between their version and yours is roughly $298 every single time. Now here is exactly how you do this. First, make sure your engine is fully warmed up. Drive your car for at least 10 to 15 minutes before doing this procedure. A cold engine will not give you the same results because you need the combustion chamber at full operating temperature for the thermal reaction to work properly. Do not skip this step. Second, open your hood and locate your air intake hose. This is the large rubber or plastic hose that connects your air filter box to your engine's throttle body. It is usually between 2 and 4 inches in diameter. You are going to be introducing the baking soda solution through this hose while the engine is running, so take a moment to identify it clearly before you begin. Third, mix your solution. Take a clean spray bottle and add 2 cups of warm distilled water. Then add 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Shake it gently until the baking soda is fully dissolved. Do not use more than 2 teaspoons per application. Using too much baking soda at once can cause a sudden drop in cylinder pressure that may trigger your check engine light temporarily. Stay with the recommended amount. It is enough to do the job. Fourth, with the engine running at idle, carefully disconnect the air intake hose from the throttle body. You will need to work quickly here. Hold the hose slightly away from the throttle body opening so there is a small gap of about ½ inch. Fifth, begin spraying your baking soda solution in short bursts directly into the intake airflow. You will hear the engine sound change slightly, a brief roughness or stumble. That is completely normal. That is the reaction happening inside the combustion chamber. Spray for about 3 to 4 seconds, then pause for 5 seconds. Repeat this pattern for a total of about 90 seconds. Do not spray continuously. The pulsing method allows the engine to process each dose properly. Sixth, once you have used your full solution, reconnect the air intake hose firmly. Rev the engine to about 2,000 RPM for 30 seconds. You may see some white or light gray smoke coming from the exhaust. That is the loosened carbon deposits burning off. This is exactly what you want to see. It means the process worked. Finally, take your car for a 15 to 20 minute drive at highway speeds if possible. This allows the engine to fully clear the remaining deposits through normal combustion and heat cycling. After this drive, your engine is clean, your combustion is more efficient, and your fuel economy has improved. Some people notice the difference on their very next tank of gas. Thousands of people in online car communities have been quietly sharing this method for years. A mechanic in Texas named David, who has been working on engines for 30 years, started using this technique on customer vehicles and saw average fuel efficiency improvements of 12 to 22%. One of his customers, a delivery driver running 200 miles a day, saved over $800 in fuel costs over 3 months after doing this procedure twice. A viewer who tried this on her 2015 Honda Accord reported going from 26 miles per gallon to 31 miles per gallon on her very next fill-up. That is almost a 20% improvement on a tank of gas that costs $60. That means she's now getting the equivalent of $12 extra of fuel every single time she fills up. Over a year, that is over $600 back in her pocket. The results can last anywhere from 6 months to well over a year, depending on how much you drive and what kind of fuel you use. Premium gasoline and lower mileage driving will extend the results. High mileage, city driving, and lower grade fuel may mean you want to repeat the process every 4 to 6 months. Either way, the total cost for an entire year of treatments is under $5. Compare that to the $900 a year people spend on professional services. The math is not even close. And the oil companies and dealerships, they are counting on you never figuring this out. Now, every day you do not know about this, they profit. That ends right now. Do this today, not next week. Not when you get around to it. Today. Go to any grocery store, pick up a box of baking soda for 75 cents, and take back control of what you spend on fuel. So if this opened your eyes, hit that like button right now because it helps other people find this information. While the people of the oil companies do not want to see it. Subscribe, because next time, I am going to expose another secret that the tire industry has been hiding for decades. Something that affects your safety and your wallet, and that almost nobody knows about. And one final thing before you go. After you do this baking soda treatment, check your tire pressure. Underinflated tires can cancel out up to 15% of your fuel efficiency gains before you even leave your driveway. A gas station air pump costs $1. $1 to protect everything you just did. You now know what they spent 40 years trying to keep from you. Use it, share it, and never overpay at the pump again.